My friends, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a reading for an empath. So if you resonate with being an empath, this reading is for you. Somebody was very generous and bought me this beautiful deck. It's called the Elemental Empath Oracle deck. And there was no note. So whoever you were, you didn't want to be called out and recognized, but I recognize you and I love you. Anyway, this deck is for empaths. And it seems to be quite feminine based, but I just want to remind you that I don't make my readings are not gender specific. So if you don't resonate as a feminine, that's okay. Maybe you are a masculine and you resonate with being an empath, that's fine. I just wanted to give you that warning because some cards are heavily gendered, I find, in my experience. So if you hear a lot of she's, it's just because it does look like it's meant for feminines, but I don't want to exclude any masculines. And once again, I'm not actually talking about gender. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. So let's see what you as an empath need to hear. What was that? I just saw a card. Yin and yang. You could resonate. You could resonate with being a counterpart. Maybe you're on your divine feminine journey. That was the first one I saw. But all I'm gonna do is this is just gonna be a very simple reading for you empaths. Even though we're not simple people, we're complicated creatures. Being an empath can be confusing. Because you're picking up on a lot of people's energies. Sometimes you can see through people in a way that other people can't. Sometimes you can actually feel what a person is feeling without them even telling you how they're feeling. And a lot of empaths are, destined to be healers. So let's see what you need to hear, my little empaths. I'm just going to get three cards. You may resonate with one of them. You may resonate with two of them. You may resonate with all three. We're just going to pull three. I'm going to read the message for you to see what you need to hear. And that's it. That's all this reading is going to be about. For some reason, I feel like I'm describing a doctor's appointment to you. Like, it won't be painful, I promise. So I'm just going to shuffle one more time. Interesting. I'm just going to shuffle one more time. And let's see what we need to hear together. So we'll cut the deck, and like I said, I'm going to shuffle out three cards. So what do these empaths need to hear? What advice do they need? We have intuition. Intuition versus fear. I cannot wait for this one. I think this one is really important. Connect to soul. Trust self and source. And that's one of the hardest parts about being an intuitive empath, is that it can be hard to learn how to trust yourself and your own intuition. I'm just going to share a weird story with you guys. I was doing a love reading earlier, and the heat stopped working in my room, which is why I'm wearing a hoodie right now. The heat wouldn't work, even though I had no problems with my heat previously. And I have hot water baseboard heat. I don't even know what that means, but that's what I have. And the heat in every other area of my house was working, and hot water was working. And I mentioned in the reading, it happened during the reading, right as I was setting up for it. And I mentioned this could have something to do with the person I'm channeling. Like maybe the person I'm channeling feels quite lonely without your warm energy. They could be feeling quite cold and detached from you, or cut off from you. Lack of sunshine in their life. Anyway, and I said, I know I sound crazy. Really, my heat's just not working and I need to figure out how to fix it. Did the reading. Went to eat my lunch. Came back. Heat's on. Never had a problem with it before. All of a sudden, it's working again. It was only during that reading that it didn't work. Anyway, I'm going to share that in my next love reading as well. But I just wanted to tell you magical people about it. So we need to figure out what kind of card this is, first of all, because each card has... This is a Cosmos card. Cosmos. Interesting. 3, intuition. I'm excited. I only pulled one card from this deck for myself, and it was a card about I'm not a patient person. And the first card I pulled was I'll just share it with you. Since I'm looking at your cards, you might as well know what card I pulled. I pulled number 4 in the Earth section. Honor the journey. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. And it's about like a healing journey, maybe, counterpart journey as well. But it's about not rushing the end. It's about experiencing the journey, not wishing to reach the end of it, because the journey is part of the process. Anyway, that's the card I pulled for myself. But we have intuition here for you. Learning how to trust your intuition when the whole world tells you that you shouldn't trust your intuition. The core of intuition is learning to trust yourself and the universe. It is a deep knowing that a certain path is correct. Cultivating the ability to listen is key. Fear versus intuition. What you feel intuition or fear? Is your intuition guiding you, or your trauma misleading you? And how do you understand the nuances of what it might be telling you? Your intuition is always there for you, and learning how to understand is so important. How do you tell the difference between intuition and fear? Fear can often be nagging and telling you all of the things that will go wrong if you don't listen. While intuition appears in different forms for different people, it is more of a deeper knowing, a feeling that a certain path is the right one. Cultivating this listening takes time and practice, especially if the fear voice is loud. Start to learn what your intuition sounds like versus your fear voice. Awareness of patterns. In order to connect with your intuition, I'm very out of breath. Are you tired? Are you tired of the journey? Like, I'm out of breath here. In order to connect with your intuition, you must become aware of what your traumatized self acts like and how she tries to misguide you. Here we go. Here are those pronouns that I was talking about. Learn to navigate through the layers of your ego and trauma so that you can uncover the intuitive voice within. Your intuition will have a flavor and feeling to it that, with practice, you will be able to recognize your energy. You must go beyond your trauma response to be able to hear it. Trauma has a way of feeding you desires that feel good and right in the moment, but are ultimately from a wounded place. Explore and understand your patterns to learn where these promptings are coming from. It's important to know that intuition has nuances and layers. Your intuition might be strongly telling you it wants a new life path, but the practicality might not be there yet. When heeding your intuition, it is important to balance trust and practical reality. Learn to tell when your system is telling you a general life direction to aim for versus an actual step to be taken right now. Sometimes your soul tells you what it wants, but it could take some time to get there. Other times it is giving you the exact next step to take and asks you to leap. Learn to tell the difference. Timing is key. Grounding and soul connection are some of the best ways to tell what's going on. Hearing your intuition. When you are tapped into your intuition, trust it. It is guidance from your soul. It can come in many forms. It can be a thought, a feeling, a voice in your head, or an outward sign that makes you think of something. Get in touch with yourself to learn how your personal intuition works. Potential blocks. You may be blindly following every intuitive hit you get without considering the nuance, timing, or origin of the prompt. Get to know your intuitive voice and how she communicates with you. Slow down, use awareness of your patterns and practicality mixed with your intuition to create a roadmap going forward. You also might be completely disconnected from your intuition and have no idea how to access it. See this exercise here, I'll read it to you, and take time to learn this powerful new skill. There are many ways to tap into your exercise. There are many ways to tap into your intuition. You can start by using a deck like this one and asking cards for direction. If you have something specific you are struggling with, hold in your mind the answer you think your intuition is giving you. And after shuffling, pull 3 cards, one each for the heart, mind, and soul. These cards will represent the true feelings and intuition of each part of you. If you aren't sure of the message, you can pull a second card for each. And you don't have to use this specific deck, you can use other decks as well. Another exercise is to sit and meditate until your mind is calm, and imagine a light in your chest and connect with it. Ask this for any guidance it might have. All right, so we're going to get 2 more cards for us. Where did I put them? How did I just, oh, there they are. I'm like, how did I lose a deck of cards that quick? So let's see, one more for now. We'll do one more for now. Self-love, beautiful. I think everybody could use a little bit more self-love. Self-acceptance, self-care, compassion, vulnerability. Is it another 4? It is. The other one wasn't a 4. The other one was a 3. But the other one I mentioned was a 4. So 4 could be symbolic. 4 is about stability. And this looks like it's water. Let me look in the table of contents. Definitely water. Yep, 93. That number could be symbolic for someone. Self-love. Self-love is a journey. Self-love is at the core of much of our healing journey. It is a nuanced topic that involves years and layers of work. Wherever you are in your self-love journey, you are not alone. Most of us are on this same journey. Self-love isn't a switch we can turn on overnight, if only, right? If only that was the thing. It's common to struggle with it, especially when society and the media constantly points out all the things we should hate about ourselves. Maybe you like yourself, but have things you want to change. Wherever you are on the spectrum of loving yourself is welcome. Self-love is a journey of little by little starting to accept ourselves as we are, all while we continually change and grow on our journey. What is self-love? The core of self-love is really about self-acceptance and compassion. We as a society have tried hating ourselves as a form of self-control and motivation for too long. When we instead start to appreciate and love ourselves, we can act from a centered place of compassion instead of hatred. It takes time to relearn to love yourself, so be gentle and try to accept where you are on this journey. Try to have compassion for yourself and begin to accept exactly where you are right now, even if you don't like that place. This practice can be a powerful catalyst for healing. You could say something like, I accept that I don't fully love myself yet, and that's okay. I invite in compassion for myself and everything I'm doing on my journey. Inviting acceptance and compassion opens a door to accepting and loving yourself. Self-love is not based on anything tangible. The ego says, I am lovable because, fill in the blank. The soul says, I am lovable because I am. You could be like healing some kind of self-love. Like I'm getting Phoenix energy right now. I'm getting a rush of heat. Not just because my heater's on. So you could be breaking some sort of cycle like within your family. Like maybe you come from a family where self-love isn't a thing. Existing is the only requirement for lovability. Self-love is like the nucleus of a cell. It is the core of the being that matters, not just the outer shell. Consider the sun. It doesn't need the earth in order to keep shining. It shines because that is its nature. Also, remember that as you are starting out, it's okay to focus on the external qualities that you like about yourself to get the ball rolling. Self-worth. This book is beefy. There's lots in this book. This card is your invitation to change your view of your self-worth. Think of a kitten or a puppy covered in mud and missing half its fur, stuck in a garbage heap, and snapping at people out of fear. Is it still lovable? Of course. But when we are covered in the mud of life and lacking the qualities we thought made us beautiful, We think ourselves despicable and unworthy of love from anyone, least of all ourselves. It is time for that to change. You are lovable because you exist, period. When you are in a dark place, you can treat yourself like a little kitten or puppy. Self-love is about allowing yourself to be authentically and vulnerably you, while not pushing yourself to do so. If there are parts of yourself that you aren't ready to accept, can you be okay with that? If there's something about you that society says is bad, can you start to accept it? Find a middle ground of listening to your needs, taking care of yourself, and learning to accept the parts of yourself that you find unlovable. Over time, you might start to love those parts. Show love to yourself. Lastly, invite in small ways to show love to yourself. This could be taking a bath, treating yourself to something you enjoy, or taking care of yourself by exercising or meditating. Self-love comes in many forms. Just eating and sleeping are basic ways that you are already loving your body, even if you don't realize it. Potential blocks. Self-love is a very nuanced subject, and so blocks for this card come in a few forms. First, remember that self-love comes from within. Be aware of how you might be trying to gain it through validation from others. Growing up, we learn that love is conditional and we must earn it from others. You can take kind things others say about you as a way to give love to yourself, but don't rely on others for that validation. Second is trying to force yourself to love every last part of yourself and thinking yourself as a failure if you don't. This is the opposite of self-love, although it is well disguised. Remember that it is okay to fall short. It is okay to hate things about yourself, and it is okay to not be perfectly self-loving and have a high vibe all the time. The key is to invite compassion to these parts and stay open to them shifting in their own time. Third is getting lost in self-love to the point of extreme selfishness. As feminines, especially, we are taught to be selfless and to sacrifice. But the pendulum can swing hard in the other direction, which is fine as long as you are able to come back into balance. Considering only your needs above everyone else's can lead to a disconnection from empathy and community. Your needs are important, but remember that others exist too. Exercise. Every morning or every evening for a week, put your hand on your chest and repeat a self-accepting affirmation about yourself 5 times, feeling it in your body as you say it. How does it feel? The affirmation. Write down a phrase about yourself that includes something you are working on accepting, how you feel about it, and how you are starting to accept it. Example, even though I struggle to accept blank about myself, and that feels frustrating, I am open to this shifting, and I am noticing more ways every day that I am enough. Also, consider a mirror meditation where you look at yourself in the eyes in the mirror. That can be intense. Start small and build up to saying kind things about yourself. If this is too hard, simply try saying hello and giving yourself a wave or a smile. Hi buddy. All right, and one more card for my empaths today. One more card for my empaths. We have sunshine, light, passion, illumination, motivation. Don't dim your light. This is fire. So you have fire, water, and the cosmos card. Interesting. So fire is where? Fire is here. Number 1. Sunshine. Embody the sun's energy. I'm just going to start a new part. So, tap into the power and the majesty of the sun, or majesty of the sun, majesty, however you say that word. Shine bright, show your strength, and remember that you are radiant. The sun isn't apologetic. It doesn't worry about shining too brightly or how it might be perceived. It simply shines because that is its nature. So no more tiptoeing around. Tap into that light within and let it shine. You are a beacon of light, whether you realize it or not. Don't be afraid to be seen. Allow your emotions to be seen as they are without hiding. Tap into your strength, your passion, your joy. And as you shine, allow those around you to shine as well. The sun illuminates all it touches. In the light of its glow, all around it is lit up. Your light can bring clarity to yourself and others. The light of the sun can bring illumination to the darkest corners of our world. It is a key element in the realm of shadow work. With shadow work, we attempt to process the unseen and hurt parts of ourselves that are operating in the shadows of our mind. Bringing light to these parts allows them to be seen and held as they are. Fire of motivation. The Sun card also represents the fire of motivation. It takes determination and long-term structure and routines to accomplish our goals. This card asks what your motives are and encourages you to tap into the willpower and strength to go for it. The sun burns hot, but has a steady burn. It doesn't light up in random bursts. Motivation is the same. It's difficult to accomplish our goals with random bursts. Instead, focus on creating an underlying routine and structure to create what you want. Create a lasting foundation that won't burn out. Creating a lasting foundation that won't burn out is key. Self-mastery is about consistency, not random bursts. Be consistent like the sun. Be consistent. Be consistent. I don't know why I said that. It just came out. Finding joy. Lastly, I'm on fire right now. Lastly, the Sun card urges you to take joy and pleasure in life. With its bright light, we can enjoy a radiant glow everywhere it touches. Tap into the pleasure this warm light brings into your life. Potential blocks. Are you dimming your light to accommodate others? Are you worried about how you might be perceived, or that others' needs are more important than yours? Are you letting others smother your light? This is a reminder to shine. The conditioning is strong for women to stay small. Again, this isn't gender specific, but I can see its point. So don't worry if you can't do it all at once. Find small ways to let yourself shine, even if it's only internally at first. Another potential blockage is tapping into the sun's energy too much without regard to how others might be affected. The sun is a powerful energy to tap into, but embodying only this energy without the counterbalance of other energies can be harmful to those around you or even yourself. You can figuratively burn others with too much sun energy and even become like a supernova exploding from within. You don't always need to be explosive. Be mindful of how your actions affect others. Interesting. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave it, my empaths, but I wanted to get you those messages. Thank you for checking out that deck with me, and if you like this, I'll probably do another empath reading and do the same thing, like just draw 3 cards, keep it short. But yeah, for now, I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!